So we have been here officially for over a week, about a week and a half now. Maybe highs and lows.
Okay.
So my high of this experience so far has probably just been working with the kids, experiencing the love and the purity that they still have in their hearts through all of their trouble and experience of actually getting over here. They are just they still carry that innocence in them where they see you and they just run up and they just want to hug and they trust. And that is definitely my high, but I think it's also my low, because it just shows the void that they have, that they're trying to fill, that they are just seeking attention, they're just seeking validation and someone to ask them how their day is going, and someone from the outside, like a little bit of light for them to be able to count on, that even though they're in this camp with no resources, or any programs to really help their development beyond what their parents are trying to do, that there are people out there that are coming and volunteering their time to help their childhoods be a little bit better. So I mean, high and low, it's kind of all in one. It's a little bit difficult to process once we get back, because when you're there, you're just immersed in like this love and these feelings and all of this, and then you leave and it's like, my heart, it's something I still haven't really allowed myself to process. I feel like once I do, it'll be kind of hard to keep my game face on, but it's definitely my high and low.
Most definitely. I've been really emotional on this trip. I didn't really, sometimes I forget how emotional of a person I am. Definitely that's a high, like the trust these kids have, how much they want to learn, how they listen, and like they don't even know what we're saying, and they are like so adamant on trying to understand, wanting to learn, and they're so proud, like when they get it right, and we give them like that, like justification, like that star on their hand, or or like when they
tick on their paper.
Yeah, they tick on their paper with a smiley face, and when they hug you, and they don't just take the hug, they just wrap harder
with their legs, even like
their legs,
whole body.
They have so much love. They're just like they're so open and grateful, and it's crazy. And like the parents are also so grateful, and they're wanting to learn too, and it's so like it's such a community thing. I think my low would be like, yes, we're helping 100 or more, 120 kids, but there's 3,000 kids at this camp that we have not even met or touched, or like
they don't even know we're there.
Yeah, and it's just like, and it's like, even if they did come, we don't have the resources or the people. There's only now that everyone's left, there's 6 of us total. Maria left, and Inigo and Jorge and Ari and Nathan. Now we have a new group, but not as many, and hopefully they're saying that 5 more will come next week. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know. It's just like, it's like we're so tired, and we're going through every day, and it's just like, another thing is just like our days are so full, but it's hard to not, like, in like the small amount of like time that we have to rest, I feel like my mind wandering, like, what more can we do? How else can we make the programs better, or what more can I physically do so people can see this? And it's been difficult as a photographer that I can't take so many pictures, because I feel like that's the way I've always wanted to help, and now I'm just helping with my body, with my presence, and things like that. And so we'll see where this goes, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I feel like we just got here yesterday, and it's like, man, we've been here for over a week, and we've done so much, but at the same time so little. And I think that's another contrast that's a little bit difficult to deal with, because as much as we're here and as much as we're helping, we really aren't helping the problem. You know what I mean? We're affecting the effect in such a small way. And I know, like, as long as it helps one person, as long as we touch that one life, and to me it's like, I feel like that's what kind of helps me sleep at night. Like, that's not even really I don't know, I really struggle with it, because I feel like collectively as a community of the world, we could be doing so much, and people don't even know what's going on. I didn't even really understand the numbers before I came here and found the right outlets to look for that give the news of of the numbers of people that tried to cross, the people that didn't make it, the people that died, the people that did make it, broken down into men, women, children. And it's unfucking real. The first week we were here, we got the Aegean boat report from September 10th through the 16th. So just under a week, and like 2,000 people.
Also, this whole week we haven't had a single landing, but that doesn't mean people haven't tried to cross. There were 17 boats that were stopped in Turkish borders, not allowing them to cross. And each one of those people are paying, and 60, so 17 boats, 60 people each boat, roughly. You know, each one of those people had paid 800 euros to get on that boat to fail crossing. They paid to be a part of this refuge, you know, through like the Turkish smuggler or whatever. So another thing you need to realize, you're thinking these people as like these like the poor and the most fortunate. All these people in Moria are not the poorest. They're actually the middle class, the
High
wealthy,
middle class.
the high middle class that are able to afford to even escape their country. So only imagine like all the people that are still living like in Syria that have no money to escape, and they're still living in the circumstances. And these are the high middle class, you know. I met a baker. I met a person who is a cosmetologist, you know, a man who did women's hair and eyebrows. And they had very normal lives, very normal jobs, just like you and I would have. And now they're living in Moria camp where they have to wait 2 hours for a Band-Aid. Or they have to
4
wait
hours a day to get water, and they use that same water to shower with, and it's cold, it's freezing. Even through the winter they have to shower in freezing cold water.
People waiting in line all day for food, and then by the time it gets done they could even run out of food. So sometimes they have to use small resources and they have to buy their own food, you know, which is, you know, like it's hard to even gain money when you're not allowed to work or allowed to do all these things. So it's just like it's a lot of survivalist, and like seeing pictures of people when they first got there and then what they look like now, and it's like they're so skinny. It's like, and they don't even know they're going to Moria. Like they're thinking they're coming to Europe and they're gonna have a better life, and they're not even aware that they're going straight to this refugee camp. And a lot of them ask us like, when will we be going to Athens? When will we be going to the mainland of Europe? And some of them have been there for over a year, and they've been crossing more people, like 600 a week or something like that. But when there's to the thousands coming a week, you know,
There's no resources. And this camp, Moria refugee camp, is built for between 2,000 and 3,000 people.
And there's over
right
10.
now there's over 10. There's actually over 11,000 people at this camp.
There's over 3,000 kids alone.
I mean, it's unreal. And just to put into perspective for you, I have not met a single person that I've spoken with that wishes they were here, that is thankful that they made it. I met an Afghanistan man one of the first days I was here, and when I introduced myself, he had explained to me that he spoke English in Afghanistan. His kids were at the top of our class doing crazy multiplication and things like that, and he had just been here for 4 days. And he told me, he said, in his words, I would never have escaped war to bring my children to this hell. And that is fucking unreal. I can't imagine being in a place where I'm fearful of the next bomb dropping or my home being exploded or losing my brother or losing my sister or family, and saying, okay, I'm going to take this journey. I'm going to put my kids on this incredibly unsafe dinghy across, you know, the waters that I potentially am going to get stopped by Turkish border force or get pushed back by Frontex, like similarly to what they do on our borders, and bring them here for a new life. And then they get here and it's just, it's worse than what they were living in. And it's not right.
And then I asked a couple guys, you know, like if the war was over in Syria, would you go back to Syria? They're like, oh yeah, I love my country. And then I did talk to a couple people, you know, and they're like, would you go back? They're like, no, I want to see the world, you know, just like me. Like, I want to see the world too, you know, like they want to integrate, they want to be a part of society, you know, and like, and some people want to go back to their home, you know, but regardless, they don't have a choice. Now they're stuck. This is a prison. They don't get to leave now. They don't have a choice, you know, and they have to be stuck in this.
Or the children, I got asked the other day through a Farsi translator by a little girl who was maybe 7 or 8 years old. She asked me, when are we going to get on the bus and go to school? And, you know, you have to suck it back. And I've never internally cried as much as I have on this trip, when your body is like, but you're not letting tears come out because it's just fucking heartbreaking. And I have to look at her and say, this is school, honey. You know, we're teaching math right now, love. Like, pay attention, raise your hand. That's all that we can do. And it's amazing, and I feel so grateful that I'm here, and I feel useful, but I feel useless at the same time. And, I really just, I don't know. I don't even know. I still, like I said, have kind of kept myself in processing the whole thing because it takes me to a whole different low that I didn't know I could feel. But after seeing these people's lows, I mean, I was writing last night and was like, I feel like I'm hitting rock bottom or soft bottom because I'll never know rock bottom like these people know. And we will never know that. We are so privileged. And these people don't even know who's bombing them. They have no clue.
I was talking to these people, and I'm like, do you know, like, who these planes are that are bombing you? And they're like, the world. The world. They think everyone is bombing them.
They have no clue.
They have no idea who is bombing them directly.
Which means the people in Creech Air Force Base who are dropping bombs don't know who they're killing. And the people being killed don't know who's killing them.
That blew my mind.
We have created this nameless, faceless war machine that's terrorizing when there is no war right now. Nobody has declared war. So all of this terrorism coming from all of these different places, they don't even know or understand. And this morning I'm sitting out here with Charles and Fabian, and Charles pointed out this big cargo ship, and it had no markings on it. And as we looked at it with binoculars, it was full of oil barrels. It was an oil freight boat, full of everything that we have just taken from Turkey, which we can fucking see from our balcony. I swear I could throw a rock and hit these mountains. It's so fucking close. But somehow we got lucky enough to be over here. We won the birth lottery that allowed us to not be born on the other side of the water. And
it really could happen to anyone, though. Like, really, like, it could happen in any country. Like, yeah, America's strong, but, like, really, like, if it ever came down to a situation that we had, like, a huge terrorist organization that lost control, like, and we had to, like, it could happen to anyone. And, like, where would we go? We would end up in refugee camps. What would they do with an entire country like America? Where for so many people, we would end up in these, and just like we're comfortable with our water and our things and our this, like we would end up in a spot like this because there's not enough resources and they're not allowing us to integrate.
And there's not enough people with empathy that care. I mean,
it's a separation. They're separating it because they don't want to see what's happening. They don't want to see the people. So they put them far enough away. They put them far away from the city. So it just becomes a them and us instead of like we. Like it just becomes like, and we do that with everything. We do that with the homeless. We do that with everything because we don't want to connect it that it could happen to it. Like in any situation, I could be homeless. In any situation, I could be a refugee, and that is reality. And just because I was born in a country where it's most likely not going to happen, but like. I could, but like at the same time, like because it hasn't happened, you should help, you should do something, you should care, you should even if you can't help with money or you can't help with time because you must work, like understand and learn and show empathy.
So please, I mean, check your privilege, become educated, ask questions, and have empathy for these people because at the end of the day, it could be your son. It could be your daughter, your mother, your brother, your sister, your, grandma, grandpa. It could be your family. And, the fact that their situation is different than our situation doesn't make it better or worse or, that judgment just needs to fly out the window. So
that fear needs to fly out the window.
Yeah. Don't have fear. There is no fear in giving love. And if you're giving love and you're fearful, then you need to realign your true intention because there shouldn't be any fear in giving love.
There's always time to fear and there's always time to trust. Like it doesn't matter where you are or who you're talking to. Like it's just connection.
So I think we'll wrap it up there. We just scheduled an interview with Omar today where we'll do a video interview where he explains his story as well as the evolution of R4R and all of that. So there is content coming, obviously. And, the internet here is really poor, so we're uploading as we can. So please just be patient and trust that it's here. We just, we just have to share it with you when we can. So with that said, we love you, family.